Hi, guys, welcome back. So, today I want to talk about the power of being alone, the power of having that solitude in your life. And what is it between loneliness and solitude? So, I just want to clear something up. Loneliness and solitude are not the same. Loneliness is when you feel that pain of being disconnected to the world and that you just feel so isolated to yourself, whereas solitude is where you are actually connected to yourself, to your goals, to your values, connected to finding your true path, your true purpose, connecting to your inner self, having alone time for you. A lot of the time, it would be for empaths, so that when we have so much time with people, our social battery is just so empty and we need to recharge it. A lot of the time, that can be our solitude moments where we have to take time away and to just recharge ourselves. And I'm one of them. I love being around all my friends and family, but I need to come back home. I need a few days to just recharge. I just need some time for myself. I need that solitude just to rethink and focus on what I need to do now, how I need to move forward. So, how can we embrace solitude? So, solitude is more about our self discovery, finding ourselves and just being alone to just connect and just think and write down what we need to do. Solitude is about disconnecting away from people, but to connect with ourselves. It's more of a time just to reflect on the past, the present, and the future. What is it that you need to change? What is not going right? And just make a plan to move forward. And a lot of the time, we need to do that alone because a lot of outside noise is too distracting and we need peace. We need quietness because how are we supposed to think if there's so much going on in the outside world? There's so many people around us. We need time for ourselves. We need time for peace and to connect inside to our inner child, to ourselves, to our highest self to move forward. Truthfully, on a side note, solitude is so good for our healing process. So, a lot of things can happen in the outside world. Things can happen, such as issues with family, friends, boyfriends, situationships, anything. When we go through that tough time, we have to pull ourselves out of that situation and just reconnect with ourselves. It could be a breakup, it could be something within a situationship. It's just not gone right. Like today, it is 2024. We have a lot more issues now than what we did back then. And we have to reflect on what is happening to move forward. We have to pull ourselves out of those situations and disconnect. We have to pull ourselves in to disconnect from the men, from the women, from anything that is happening in your life. What's going on in your job? What's going on in the house? Any sort of situation that is happening. We have to pull ourselves out to have that solitude, to recharge, to reflect, to heal. I have done a lot of embracing on myself, a lot of solitude because I am an empath. I need to pull myself out of situations, pull myself away from people to recharge. My battery goes right down really fast because I have so much energy and I love going out, being with my friends and family, but I need to come back and recharge. And a lot of the time, I need to reconnect to my inner self. I need to reconnect with my child, with my higher self, because sometimes I will go after my goals and I'll fall off track because I'll be out partying too much or doing something that I shouldn't be doing that's not aligned with my future. So I have to pull myself back onto the pathway because I get distracted. And that is something that we all do. Embracing solitude mainly happens when you come out of a breakup or a situationship. And I do that a lot. When you've had enough and when you've gone through so much shit with somebody, you pull yourself out. You need to heal, you need to grieve, you need to spend time alone, you need to embrace that. If you don't embrace it, if you don't heal, you don't grieve, and you don't spend time with yourself, you're not going to rebuild yourself for the next person. You're not going to heal the wounds. You're not going to connect and reflect back to the past of what happened in that situationship or that relationship. Why did it break? What happened? Reflect. What did I do? What did they do? How can I improve for the next relationship? It's a time of where we have to reflect, and we need to be alone. We need to embrace that solitude. We need to embrace peace and quiet. It's how we actually build a stronger relationship with ourselves. If we don't have that time to ourselves, then we can't build that relationship. We can't build that connection with ourselves. And it may be hard for a lot of people if you live with family or you share a room and you don't have that peace and quiet. But all you need to do is take a walk. Take a walk in nature. Breathe in the oxygen. The photosynthesis around the trees produces so much oxygen. Go near a tree, hug a tree. You don't know how much hugging a tree can really help you. If you need a hug, hug a tree. You may look weird, but that's okay because you're feeling the power, you're getting more oxygen, you're opening yourself up to nature. And just find a quiet spot out in nature is perfect. Just lying in bed, having some music on, relaxing. You will find that solitude. But you need to understand solitude is not the same as being lonely. You may feel lonely. You might feel like nobody likes me. I'm always alone. But you don't understand how being alone is the best part. We come to this earth alone. We die alone. We have to be by ourselves. We have to get to know who we are. Because you spend the most time with yourself. Why don't you connect with yourself? Why don't you get used to yourself? Why don't you understand who you truly are? Connect. Connect with your inner self. Connect with your inner child. Connect with your higher self. Get to know who you truly are. Get to know what you like. Get to know what goals you want to achieve. And just move forward. Let's face it, a lot of people don't like being alone. I've met a lot of guys that don't like their own company. They need to be around people. They need to be constantly around somebody because they can't actually accept themselves. They don't like being around themselves. And that's not good. We need to connect to our higher self. We need to connect to ourselves. We need to know who we actually are. If you can't be by yourself and you fear being alone, that is something you need to work on because you have to rely on yourself. We can't rely on other people. Feeling that discomfort of being alone, that fear of being lonely or never finding someone in your life is a sign that you have opportunities to grow as a person. And that is pushing you to grow. That fear, that scarcity, that is your opportunity to grow into the person that you need to become. You need to understand having that fear of being alone, you need to break through it. You need to break through it because this is your survival mode. Nobody is going to come save you if you have issues and you're rocking in a corner and you need someone to save you. You need someone to pull you out of that dark hole, out of that dark room because you can't find the light by yourself. Nobody is going to come save you. This is your survival mode. And this is where you need to fight for yourself. This is where you build your resilience and your survival skills. Imagine if you were left in a forest or on a desert, island, anything, by yourself. No one's going to come save you. They may not know that you're there. And you have to fight for your survival. This is the time where we have power to save ourselves. This is the time where we have to work on ourselves, be by ourselves, have that survival mode, to save ourselves, because nobody is going to save you apart from yourself. A lot of the time we have to be alone because we need to hear the thoughts in our head. And that is the nudge that is going to push us into the right direction that we need to go, because them thoughts are placed there. It could be God, the universe, your higher self, your spirit guides, anything. But you need to listen to the thoughts in your head to move forward. You need to break free from the fear of scarcity of being alone and embrace the solitude to build up your character, build up your life, your path, your purpose, and your future. You need to understand that even if you are alone right now, you're not going to be alone forever. This is the time where you have to embrace being alone, embrace that solitude, to embrace building your character so that you can attract that person into your life. You may be searching, looking, seeking a partner, a relationship, a friend, anything. Until you let go, detach from the outcome, focus on your inner self, inner work, your character, who you want to be, you will then attract. You will mirror. You are mirroring who you are right now into the world, into the universe. Until you do the inner work, you will reflect back of what is going on inside your heart. So embrace solitude for whatever reason that you're going through right now. You are not lonely. You need to embrace this moment to move forward.